Hello and welcome to the EsportsWales ESEA Open. We're going to be following the EsportsWales teams as they go through this tournament. And Team Yart have had a very strong start, haven't they? They've gone 16-0 in their first game, Steve.
Yeah, they have indeed. Just displaying a lot of the stuff that they learned from the last series. ESEA last series, me and Jakey covered quite a lot of the games ourselves together. And there was a lot of improvements that need to be done from the team side perspective, but it seems like they've taken those improvements on board and they've kind of pushed through into the series quite nicely. Starting with that opening lead, as you said as well, quite very nice beginning for this set of tournament for them.
Yeah, very much. They're going to be looking to carry out this dominant run essentially as it has started. Like you said, learning a lot of things from last series, looking to carry on the strong start they've had so far. But they will be coming up against the AAD Akademi.
Yep, AAD Academy. I've seen them before in ESEA. Quite a decent team. They're formidable, at least anyway. From a team standing perspective. Unfortunately, I don't have to hand their statistics from the last series, at least anyway. ESEA has quite thankfully crashed on me for whatever reason. But rest assured, they are a decent team to go up against. I would imagine they're going to put quite a significant, strong defence up against Team Yao. I mean, you look at the map that we're playing at the moment, Inferno is not the nicest of maps to play. In the grand scheme of things, most teams will want to get this map out of the way as quick as they can. But I'd be interested to see what we can do. And the last time we watched EsportsWales play on this map, there was unfortunately quite a heavy loss. So I'm interested to see what they can push out onto this one. It looks so we are still waiting for players to jump into the server. However, we don't have everyone in there just yet. In the meantime, if you want to stay tuned on other things that are going on within EsportsWales, there are some links below. Follow the Twitter page on all the happenings, and also jump in Discord so you guys can chill out with the players and play some games with everyone. There's a lot of community games that go on quite a lot in EsportsWales.
Yeah, very much. I've noticed that a lot of EsportsWales' kind of approach to things is try and just help people enjoy themselves and have a good time. So getting involved, no matter what you want to get out of it, is recommended. For example, I know the guy I casted the Siege with for the EsportsWales Open, he's now currently working behind the scenes right now for this very stream. It's a very good way to get involved and see what you're doing. And if you're looking to play with these teams, get into streaming or anything, it's a very good opportunity. The links are all in the Twitch chat, so by all means, have a look.
Definitely agree with you. I mean, I myself personally, I'm not affiliated with EsportsWales. I do the casting stuff that I do freelance at the moment. But I'll be honest, John, Jakey, the rest of the guys from EsportsWales, they've given me a massive help as far as casting side of things are concerned. Jake and me do drop each other DMs in the evenings, not in a weird way, of course. Probably going to be seen in a weird way, but we do talk to each other quite a fair bit off cam. About the different happenings within esports within the UK. It's a really good community to be part of, and it's a really good community to get involved in early on.
Yeah, very much. I think there's nothing more that can be said about that so far. But Team Yart, you said you've seen them quite a bit in this last series, or you've at least seen the EsportsWales teams. What have you been noticing, Steve?
They're a very slow to begin with starting team. Essentially, the first 5 or 6 rounds will go either way, and then all of a sudden they'll have like a little bit of a sync up where all the players kind of just click. Or the kind of like the mindset clicks within them, and then they just go on a rampage with round after round after round after round after round. So it can go quite aggressive quite quickly for them, and I'm very interested to see if they kind of push this out tonight as well.
Very interesting, my friend. But we are going to see what looks like a bit of a shift up in the roster for Team Yar, so we might maybe see that start out quite earlier if last game is anything to go by, quite possibly. Very excited to see how they're going to go. Ollie, Bot, and Peeth, I believe, are the core 3 from last season, and they've got 2 more members looking to make a big impact, and so far they have. I'm going to say it.
Yeah, they have indeed, and again, it's always interesting when you do see teams kind of change things up. and change, make changes to their player personnel. Ollie, we saw in the last season, very formidable player. I've seen him, play quite a few different esports tournaments as far as EsportsWales are concerned. Pete the same as well. Pete has got his own little mini fan club within EsportsWales, which is just crazy to see it. You'll probably see it in chat at some point when all the Pete boys come in and they start banging out different emotes, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what these guys can push out tonight. I think at the moment we're still waiting for some more players to jump in. We have got about 5 minutes, I believe it is, before the first game goes live, or the only game goes live, I should say. It is a BO1. The CSGO Open for ESEA will always be a best of one unless playoffs are met. And if playoffs are met, then it's a best of 3. We are very early on, though, in the Open, so this is only the second game of the Open. There's another, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games left after tonight. So time will tell. If that winning streak can continue tonight, then I think we're on to Grand Papik, which are the next team that EsportsWales play against. And then so on and so forth as we go through the rest of the Open. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what these guys can push out. Ollie and Pete, 2 more players. They've got Sketch, YTP, and Stato joining them, pushing into this new Open. I've not seen much from the other 3 players, of course, but from Ollie and Pete at least anyway. If they're at the helm, then I would imagine we're going to see some good play in.
Very much. I think we're in for a good game, and I'm hoping to see a very good performance from the EsportsWales side, Team Yart, because biased casters, best caster is, I'm sure you all aware, but we will be following this game in about 4 minutes. We're going to be playing on Inferno with the Team Yart starting on the attack. Tell me what you think about that, man. Inferno, I think, is more a CT-sided map in my experience.
It is. To be honest, my sort of my playability, at least anyway, as far as CS is concerned, is that whichever side of the map that I'm on is not that side. I'm most of the guys I play with will assure you that whenever I play, usually we're going to lose that first half if I'm on CT or T. It doesn't matter either way. The thing with the ESEA and how ESEA works, it's a little bit different to some of the other tournaments that are out there. In the Open, there is that knife round to begin with, so we don't know just yet which side they're going to be starting on. They will be on T for knife, but after knife round is completed, depending who wins knife round, of course, then depends on whether they want to attack or defend. I would imagine if EsportsWales do pick up the knife round, they will look to go CT. They won't look to go T. They'll want to get those CT rounds out of the way as quick as possible, put points on the board, put that delay in action in place, stop Akademi from being able to push themselves forward on the round perspective, and then flip over onto CT, and then you're on a reverse angle where you're battling against players that have already got rounds ahead of you. So they want to put themselves in a good standing before they get that flip over onto T side if they do win the knife round. But as we said, it all does come down to that knife round. It all does come down to what these guys can push out for this evening. To give a bit of a recap, we were able to cover the original game, or the starting game on Monday. Was it Monday? What day
yes,
are we?
It was.
I've lost track of days in lockdown, I do apologise. We weren't able to cover the original game on Monday because everyone's internet in the UK decided to stop working. If you were with a specific provider, which will remain nameless. From Monday's match, Pete, we saw had 9 kills as far as the highlights are concerned from the ESEA standings. YTP coming in with 2,115 damage, did 27% of the team's damage across that 16 rounds that they won. Sketch performed 2 bomb diffuses. There's a lot of different stats that we could potentially go through as far as the ESEA are concerned. More than what we'll need to go through, if I'm honest with you. Like, for example, they give you like how many unused flashbangs were bought. Why would I need to know that? Or how many unused smoke grenades were bought? I don't need to know that kind of information. I would imagine it's good from a coaching staff perspective, but for us too, at least anyway. Unprofessional players and chill out players that jump on CS every now and again but talk a lot about it. It's not really something for us to use. ADR perspective, however, the team name that they played against last week doesn't really help. The team was We Were the Worst on Monday. That's an incredible name that is, considering they lost 16-0. And from an ADR perspective, there's 3 players on the team, YTP, Sketch and Pete, that all plus 100 ADR. That's a huge number to have, more than half your team on 100 plus ADR. Not to say the starter wasn't pulling his own weight, he was 85, so he's not that far behind. Ollie being the coach, he's going to be a little bit more relaxed as far as that KD ratio is concerned. He was 57 still, he's still pumping numbers out regardless. But the tail of the tape from the other flip side of this perspective, and the team that we're going up against tonight, as far as Akademi, they haven't played a game as of yet, so we don't know what they're going to push out as far as this series is concerned. EsportsWales is their first game, so we've got a lot of stats that we can work off based on what we've seen on Monday, but we don't really know what these guys are going to push out in the new Open. So I'd be very interested to see if they're going to be as good as they were last series, or if they're going to restack. I think they've had a few team changes as well, as far as players are concerned. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So essentially, we're going to see the debut of the Akademi lineup in the ESEA Open, and we're going to be casting it, and we're going to see how Team Yard do, looking, as I've said before, to continue their outstanding run. We are going to head ever closer towards the start of this game, do not worry. But remember, if you want to get involved with any of this, possibly be in the lobby playing for Team Ya yourself, then check out EsportsWales. The links are in the chat for the Discord, the Twitter, everything will be linked, and talk to the mods, talk to the guys, and just see what's going on. I very much recommend it, and it's why I'm here right now.
Yep, definitely. I'm here because I'm Welsh, and for some reason they turned to me and went, "Do you know what? You're Welsh and you're in multiple bits and pieces, and you do this, that, and the other. Do you want to do this for us?" So, but the Discord is perfect. You will find people playing all kinds of games in there. You will often find me talking about Overwatch and trying to figure out how to play Overwatch, and probably now talking about Rainbow Six Siege as well, because I think from our conversation on Monday, you're going to try and get me to play some Rainbow Six Siege, which is going to be eventful nonetheless anyway. But yeah, we're waiting on one additional player to jump into the server. It is from EsportsWales, so I'm not certain of what's going on there. Actually, it might not be. It might be Akademi. I'm just pulling up my RMPT feed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're waiting on one player from the Akademi side of things. So I think we're gonna, we're not going to be too far away. They've got, with ESEA and the way the rules work in ESEA, to give you a bit of history on it, or a bit of background on it. ESEA gives you a set amount of time after the start time to have all your players ready. You can't play as a 4-stack from memory. You can get an additional player to come in a round after, but if you guarantee that you can't get a 5th player in, like you're only going to play as a 4-stack, as far as I'm aware, you're defeated basically. You invalidate the match, meaning that we'll have 2 games in the balance where EsportsWales go 16-0. So it'd be interesting to see if we do get the additional player. I think it's a 15-minute cooldown or a 50-minute timer. And then after that 15-minute period, that's it. It's game over. You and I can chill out, and we don't have to do anything for the evening. Then at that point, it's only ever happened to me. It's happened to me 3 times in casting the ESEA. One of them was for a main game, so it was a best of 3 for playoffs, and one of the teams just didn't show up for their first playoff game. Mm-hmm. Why they wouldn't do that, I've got no idea, because you're in playoffs and you want to win that game. The other 2 times it's happened is in the Open. So it does happen from time to time. People have issues with the internet and all that kind of stuff. But we're still waiting for that extra player to jump in. Or 2 players now, I should say, looking at the feed that we're getting. From you, though, I mean, obviously you've got quite a big history as far as Rainbow Six Siege is concerned. How have you found coming over from Rainbow Six Siege to CSGO?
I mean, first of all, I'm not as good playing it as I am watching it, or maybe casting it. I think I've only hit silver, but I do enjoy watching how the teams play, how the higher level players that are able to make the teams at ESEA Open. I enjoy seeing how they perform and how they work around each other. So I'm seeing how this game goes. It's a similar game in some aspects and a completely different game in other aspects. I've completely
I've changed. Like, I played Rainbow Six Siege this week for the first time. Like 2 days ago, I played like 3 or 4 rounds or 3 or 4 maps on my own just to kind of ease myself into it, because I've got a really weird feeling that you're just going to throw me at the deep end and I'm just going to be like a swan that looks graceful on top, but is absolutely battering his feet underneath the water. Like, that is literally what's going to happen to me. And there are some parts of the game where you're like, okay, I get that. It's a good B defense, but it's not B, it's one of the sites. Or I get that. It's a good A push. You know, the tactics are kind of there, but the gameplay mechanics are completely different around it. So I feel if you've got a bit of an experience in one FPS game, you can kind of tally it into another. It's not like you've come from Quake, for example, to then CS. You know what I mean? Where they're two completely very different games. I don't know what to say at the moment, though, because we're still waiting on one additional player to come in from Akademi. We've got 10 minutes until that cooldown time hits.
I do know what to say, though. We will not be throwing you into the deep end when we do play Siege, do not worry, because do you want to know why, Steve?
Why?
Because we're going to be playing in the EsportsWales Discord, and people are there to help around, man. You won't be thrown into the deep end. If you play in that Discord and you check it out, you'll be met with friendly people who are happy to help you learn. And for as long as we're in that Discord playing, Steve, I will be there to help you learn.
Definitely.
If it's a private call, however, I can't make any promises.
Yeah, I'm going to be in ranked, and then I'm going to be going up against like platinums and all that kind of stuff, or whatever the ranking system is. I think, however, we are going to take a short break for a couple of minutes. Wait for the additional players to jump in. They may catch us off guard, and all of a sudden 2 additional players come in from Akademi, but it's not looking too likely at the moment. But yeah, we'll take a quick break for a few moments, and we'll be back with you soon.
There you go, you got it. There's this incredible charity, man. It's called Special Effect. They literally are changing the lives of these kids and allowing them to play. Look, right here, I'm using my eyes to play Minecraft. Right there, I'm talking to one of the kids through a robot. So him and his family were in the hospital and they could see me. It was the coolest thing ever, man. Just the stuff they're doing. They're making it easier for people with severe disabilities to play video games. It's absolutely incredible, and it's something that I'm 1,000,000% behind and going to continue to support. Special Effect, check it out.
My name's Will. I'm a C4 tetraplegic following a cycling accident in July 2012. I got back into gaming in 2013 when I found out about Special Effect. The first time I came, I really didn't know what to expect. I've been playing a lot of games prior to my accident, and of that, FIFA was one of the main games I had played, and literally within half an hour we had the shoulder switches and had FIFA set up. I've got movement of the shoulders, limited hand movement. So I've got two shoulder switches. They can be set up for whichever trigger button you need them for. For example, you've got X on one shoulder, circle on the other. So for FIFA that's two button modes and shin control, like the one I use for my chair, on the analog stick to control the ball. I was quite fortunate that after I'd been to visit Special Effect the first time, I took all the equipment home with me, and it gave me a couple of months to actually get to grips with, whether it's something that I was going to enjoy and something that was going to be suitable for my needs, and it certainly was. And then I got the links to purchasing the right equipment. Games are another aspect of the life that I had prior to my accident, and a real social occasion. Great to be competitive with friends or just to pass time. for myself. When I was in hospital, I was seeking advice as to what would still be possible, and I had been told that I wouldn't be able to play games like FIFA again. I'm just really grateful I managed to find out about Special Effect, that I've had this opportunity to get back into gaming, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without Special Effect, and I would recommend it to anyone else in a similar position.
My name is Aaron, I'm 15 years of age, and gaming is a true hobby of mine. My hands, I could notice they were just getting weaker, and I found it really hard to play games. And then the year progressed, and then I started getting a bit depressed because I just couldn't play anymore. It would be too exhausting. So I'll be honest, I didn't think Special Effects would be able to help me, but they tried different angles.
Hello and welcome back to the EsportsWales team's coverage of the EsportsWales Open. Today we're going to be watching Team Yart versus AAD Akademi. I'm joined by Reaper Steve.
Hi there, guys. We are looking like we're going to go 5v4 for this. Both teams have agreed to play 5v4. I think Grumpy Monk is the additional player for AAD. Unfortunately, he's not able to get into the server. I think he has an issue or something. It hasn't really been mentioned what issue they've got, but they are looking like they're going to play 5v4. So we will hopefully have a match for you. That is unless AAB come back and say in the end that they don't actually want to, which it doesn't look as though they have, because we are flicking to knife round already. We'll go ahead and put the gameplay up on screen for yourselves so you guys can check in on the action. But this is knife round. AAB obviously one man down, so 5v4 as far as moving into this game. Knife round should be interesting with that one-man difference.
Yeah, definitely. Especially after the 16-0 victory that Team Yart had, you really have to be thinking that you really have to be confident at the moment looking into this game.
That one-man difference is about to get taken away.
Yep, Rotten getting the first kill, bringing it to a 4v4 as Team Yart head towards A site. Rotten is going to fall back. He does not want to start off with this as he runs to apps.
Yeah, that 4v4 difference now being tied up quite nicely. So, that puts AAB in a bit more of a better standing, pushing into the rest of the knife round. They do only have a minute left of it. And obviously we'll want EsportsWales to get a few more, or get the 4 kills, or actually, they can't plant either, so yeah, they need to get the 4 kills, otherwise it goes to AAB. I can't speak English today. So we're going to want T-Wales to secure the next 4 kills. 4 of them, or 3 of them, I should say, now 4 are on B site. And this is where we see the drop down. Oh, Pete caught completely off guard there, looking the opposite direction. This AAB team are playing very kind of like sneaky, if you know what I mean. It's weird. This is not a normal knife round.
This is very much follow the leader, because they're just getting a kill and leaving. They need to really step up with 20 seconds left. Stato is going to fall to Sketch here, so not really sure what that's about in a 2v3 now.
Yes.
Making that a 2v3. Looks like we might be restarting. I'll give you some confirmation in a bit.
Maybe, yeah. ESEA allows players to join midway through the game. If you're in that roster, it does allow you to join. I think what had happened is, rather than the case of them chasing kills round, they played for time, which is what I think is potentially happened. What potentially happened. They knew there was only 30 seconds left on the clock, so if they run like hell to get away from Team Wales, or EsportsWales, I should say, then they're definitely going to secure the opening round, which makes a bit more sense now looking at it. But 5v5 now, at least, anyway. And AAB have chosen to go CT. So, yeah, that now makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, they were trying to play time, get their teammate in. So now it's going to be a 5v5. We're going to see Grumpy Monk joining the ranks of AAB Academy as we watch Team Ya try and continue their undefeated run through the ESEA Open so far. We're going to see what looks like an A push with A long being, or second mid, sorry, being where they seem to be heading up to apps. Rotten is waiting. He finds a shot but will not damage anybody, but the call is made. Linth, Rotten looking to cover their angles while Stato pulls back over Banana, but Sketch will push onto site as YTP falls.
Yeah, that nice little position by, again, Ollie. That was a nice from Ollie coming out. Link will take down Sketch and bomb is planted, so,
Very nice wait from Rotten as he finds Ollie. It's a 2v3 now in favor of Academy, but Team Yacht do have the bomb down. It's down to Peeth as he finds one. He's looking for the second. He'll tag him up and get Grumpy Monk, looking for the third. And he will find that final 3k just to secure the round for Team Yacht and bring it back from a quite risky place.
Yeah, dropping down into pit and then not really, well, it's not really a position that players would check in that kind of scenario. Just behind them as they drop into pit itself. And the reason why they probably wouldn't check into it is because they've already cleared site. So why would there be someone there still waiting, especially after bomb plant as well? You're going to find that CTs that hide in that sort of position will swing up as bomb plant gets put down so they can, or bomb starts to be planted, I should say, so they can get the easy kill to bring things up. But we're going to see a big B push here.
Yeah, we'll see the B push. Frags coming out in a 3v3 now. Akademi picking up some of these guns here. AK and UMP have fallen. And it looks like Team Ya are going to go for the A push as Akademi try and walk down Banana. Link will fall. Sketch will fall to Rotten as the trades are coming out now. But it looks like Ollie is about to go on site and go for this plant. It's down to Ollie and Peeth to hold them off and hopefully get this next run.
Yeah, you look at it from the B sort of perspective. That's this AAB team play very sneakily. So watching them kind of sit back and wait for players to push through and not check angles is something that we've seen quite a fair bit with EsportsWales, that those angle checks aren't coming through. But this is actually getting quite nice now as Ollie's looking to perhaps secure that last finishing kill. On site, he's got the pillar to give himself a little bit of cover, and the back end of Peeth will spring round from a short, even I should say, with that Mac 10 and finish the round off. That push onto B was a little bit ropey from my perspective, and then the rotation to A was a little bit slow. By the time they started rotating to A, players were already pushing down, Banana, and they had caught eyes on bombs. So as soon as that kind of happens, you negate all surprise of then the rotation go into A. But realistically, this is a round win anyway, so it's not a huge concern, but it should have been a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I think the fallback from Ya was able to kind of bait them into a bit of a push and able to bring them in and find those kills, but Lint will get flashed in by Grumpy, finds YTP. And it looks like it's possibly going to be another A push if Ya can find out how Akademi are playing this.
Yeah, I mean, bomb is still back towards CT ramp, so they've got the option of rotating to either side with it. It's nicely played by EsportsWales. They want to keep that bomb out of sight, so neither positions know which direction the bomb is actually going to go in. The flash throughs are coming in quite nicely, but Stato will read that flash, and he'll pop some quick, accurate shots into the head of Lintoff. He's one man in this push on to B at the minute, but he's only really got Grumpy to contend with, but he's going to have to be quick about it, because right now, one of the AAB players is on his way to site to help.
Yeah, and we have to take into account AAB have been able to do a full buy here. The AWP is going to make it quite difficult, but it seems we might have lost connection to the game. Looking at how it stands, though, I'm thinking Team Ya have the ability to take it as we come back to the cameras, but I think it's all to play for. Akademi can very much make a lot of this. Low money, but they've got 3 M4s and an AWP. They can do it.
Yeah, they could potentially do it. I think that the big sort of concern at the moment now is that bomb has been picked up, and obviously our last thing that we can see is the bomb is heading somewhere on mid, at least anyway. Obviously we could rotate round to B, it could rotate on to A, it could go anywhere from mid, but I think the rotations have got to come in quite early for EsportsWales if they want to make a mark on a site. What I was referencing to a few moments ago is that Grumpy is now one man standing on B side. Statos, cleared his angle, he's managed to clear Lindorf out. He knows that there's going to be potentially a second player there because the flashbang came beforehand, so he knows he's going to clear that extra kill. But all that time and momentum that he's losing every second of by taking his time to push on through Banana and waiting for additional support from the T side, that's just allowing that CT rotation. That's allowing that all to come from A side and switch up to B, get that angle from CT long onto B, and kind of hold it down from a different distance, which obviously causes issues then for EsportsWales clearing into side. So it's a little bit of a concerning one for me at that point, but we should hopefully get feedback up in a few minutes. Apologies for the technical issues. It wouldn't be esports if there wasn't technical issues, of course.
No, very much so. And I want to talk about this AWP just a little bit more. Even if the AWP plays all the way in CT, looking onto B, that's a very difficult position to kind of fight without using a lot of utility. Granted, the esports team have it, but they've got to use a lot of their flashes, Molotovs to push Lint out when all he has to do is land one shot. So I agree with you, it can be a difficult play to make, and with a minute on the clock as we lost the feed there, I don't think there was much hope that esports will be able to pull back and get the plant on A.
That initial frag when they push onto B is the only telling point of it. Obviously we don't know what's happened, of course, but if they get that initial frag onto Grumpy, that then means that the AWP has to sit back. It has no choice of being able to push up, get maybe a little bit closer towards Church Door, and get into that sort of position where they can cover the cross angle. That gives EsportsWales a little bit more time to work with, but what it also means is that they can start using that utility and put it into place. The smokes can come down to cover the cross. Okay, that's one perspective of that all being shut out. What they then need to do is perhaps smoke back of sight, get it towards Coffin. That covers that angle. They've got 2 smoke grenades to work with in the hands of Pete and Strato at this point. They do have 3 Molotovs as well. So, the 2 smoke grenades popping out, that'll give them the cover. Then the Molotovs can come in quite nicely to be able to push back that retake coming in from Akademi. That would be the way I would do it, or the way I would want it to run. How it will happen in real life, we don't know. We could be sort of 3 or 4 rounds deep at the minute, and we're all talking about stuff that we have no idea what's going on with. But that's how I would play it if I was going to be, calling the ball on this one. I think we are going to take a small break, just very briefly. We'll run a quick video for yourselves for special effects. Please stay tuned and wait for the game to kick back up. But yeah, have a look at what special effects do. They're a fantastic charity. I've done a lot of work with them myself, and I think you have as well through Newell. Just keep posted. We'll be back quite possibly shortly.
If you do want to hopefully improve the stream quality, by all means check out the EsportsWales Discord. We're down to hear anything.
My name is Aaron. I'm 15 years of age, and gaming is a true hobby of mine. My hands, I could notice they were just getting weaker, and I found it really hard to play games. And then the year progressed, and then I started getting a bit depressed because I just couldn't play anymore. It would be too exhausting. So I'll be honest, I didn't think special effects would be able to help me, but they tried different angles, different positions, and they made this brilliant system that I use today. It's changed my life, honestly. With my adaptive system, with my feet, I use 2 controllers. I use the joysticks, the A, B, X and Y buttons, and then I use 2 ultralight switches on my right hand, which I use for the triggers, and then 2 ultralight switches on my left hand, which I use for the bumpers. So I had everything that I would normally use on a standard controller adapted for me, and I could use them again. With my disability, I'm limited to do things. I don't want to sound like a gameaholic, but it was one of the only things I could do for enjoyment. So gaming has really opened up that door for me, and my life was restored back to the way it was. I was playing games, I had a social network like I did before, I had friends. It helps connect you to other people in this world, it's just fun, and it's something for me to do to unwind from GCSEs and pressure and, you know, just life. So games do mean a lot to me. I don't know where I'd be without special effects. My hobby, gaming, it wouldn't be a thing anymore. So I'm really grateful for them for that.
I'm Kerry, I'm Jada's mum. Jada is almost 9, has always wanted to play computer games but never been able to. Jada's got cerebral palsy and finds fine motor skills very difficult, so the hand controls are extremely difficult. She's now got switches, a large switch for the main jumping and shooting, and then the smaller switches and joysticks, which is good for her fine motor skill because she has to use a joystick. Once Jada got the equipment, that was her off, and her words were, "I'm now a gamer," and she's been playing it and having a time of her life. Also, it's something she can play with her friends and not be excluded. She's now in the mainstream, playing games with mainstream children. She's now like her friends, or her and her dad will sit and play football. It's just having fun, and it's lovely to watch, absolutely lovely to watch. I just think special effects are amazing, and what they've done for Jada has been amazing. And thank you so much.
My name's Nikki, I am Chase's mum, and we first met Special Effect at EGX some years ago when both me and my husband went up for the day, and we found a stand called Special Effect. Never heard of it before, didn't realise there was such a thing as a gaming charity for the disabled. So before we visited Special Effects, I mean, we've always been a huge gaming family, and gaming is something I wanted all my children to be able to have the opportunity to do. Chase has got a severe form of cerebral palsy, and he has dystonia, which means he can't fully control his body very well. Even trying to get Chase to push a button is really difficult to do because he just doesn't have the fine motor skills to do it. But he really loved gaming, and you could see that he wanted to do more. So we went up to the gaming room in Oxford, and so throughout the day we trialled lots of different pieces of equipment, lots of different games, until we found out what worked best for Chase. As a parent, it's made so much difference to Chase being able to access video games. You know, I was really sad that I thought that he was never really going to be able to join in and do those things on his own. Particularly to disabled people, I think games are really important because, you know, someone who's able-bodied can go out, they can play golf, they can go and drive a car, they can do almost anything in real life. Chase isn't going to have those same opportunities. So being able to sit down and put on a game means that it creates a level playing field. He can do an activity that he probably wouldn't be able to do in normal day-to-day life. But even better, with gaming, he can play alongside someone who's able-bodied, and it gives a real boost to his self-confidence, I think.
That was good, wasn't it? That's pretty flexible.
And we are back with Team Yart versus AAD Akademi. Currently, it's actually a 4-4 game at the moment. In the time where we were gone, Yart were able to pick up 2 consecutive rounds, followed by a return from Team Akademi.
Yeah, 4-4, and well, 5-4 now, I should say, actually. AAB just pulling back another round. We are waiting for... the only thing we're missing at the moment is the overlay, which should be hopefully coming back up in a second, so you can see the scores and you can see everything else that's going on. But you should now be able to see gameplay at least anyway, which is a start. I would, that's a good way to start it, right? Is that you can actually see gameplay. So we're 5v5 for anyone in chat who joined us earlier on, but dipped out to make a coffee or a tea or whatever. We're now 5-5. 5 players versus 5 players. We're going to be 5-4 in favour of AAB at the minute. And it was still on the first half as well, of course.
Gonna see the AWP peek down mid. Not able to find anything past that smoke. It looks like Team Ya are waiting to feel out AAB as they look to make their push. Or AAB are looking to feel out. Yeah, I'm right. I'm having a brain fart. There's technical issues, man. They're getting me. But
fine.
AAB are kind of holding back, letting Ya make the pushes. It's not happening yet. Ya don't really want to commit themselves too far. YTP will fall to Lindhoff over on Banana.
Yeah, and Banana does seem to be the push by the looks of things.
Yep. The rest of Team Ya are going to push one, waiting over apps to try and distract them, but they do have 2 players on B here, ready to try it and take them out once the utility starts coming out.
Big utility play needed for this, though, to get this push done and dusted. It's utility from both sides as well, though. Those mollies are going to cause absolute devastation as far as, well, we've already seen it. Ollie getting the first frag out of that.
Yeah, Ollie putting one into back of the site, but Grumpy will find a kill of his own. That 5th pick coming in great. He will fall, however, to Stitcher, who's going for the plant. It's down to a retake as the AWP comes around, misses the shot through the smoke. He's looking. He finds Stater. The bomb's down, though. It's a 1v3. He finds one. Looks towards Coffins, but he will not see just at the right time. Unable to find the head of another as the plant goes down, but he will get rotten. He comes off the defuse. It's an AWP versus an AK here. Low HP. He's going to try and pre-fire, but he will fall to Lind in a very difficult angle to conquer and a very difficult, but very well played retake.
Yeah, very well played. Pete wins those normally. And I know he will be quite unhappy with the fact that he wasn't able to pull that off. Perfect repeaks on both kills, though, before that death. The flashbang came out. It did cause him a little bit of trouble, but he was able to get himself back out, swing out, get the kill onto Rotten.
Yeah.
It's just very unlucky, I think, with the way that his side step came out. He tried to shoulder peek, and he exposed a little bit too much of his top half. It's just unfortunate there. We are on cameras for a second, though. However, our reserve just needed to quickly restart the game so that we can get the overlay back up and running for you guys, so you can see all the beautiful stuff that happens in the background that I have no idea about. I just turn up with a microphone and start talking. That's literally all I do. And
it's a good job, isn't it?
It's very good. I have no technical knowledge whatsoever. I just sit here with a microphone and crack on. Technical as in computer knowledge, if that makes any sense. Game knowledge, full of it. Technical, not so much. But yeah, we figured we'd do the restart in between rounds so you guys don't miss anything. But we're back now with the action.
YTP is falling. Lintoff will on and what looks like another banana push, which has been shut down by Lint at the moment.
Indeed,
the overlay
it has
yet died again as these bullets are coming through Banana. Unable to find the bomb carrier. Unfortunately, we cannot really give names.
Yeah,
but we'll give as much information as we can. It looks like with 3 on A, it doesn't look like much of a push is going to come out onto. It doesn't look like an A push is going to be the play here for Team Ya. Looks like pushing Banana and taking out this final guy is going to be the play. He's only got utility and an M4 and will play Coffins. As most of AAB start to rotate around to try and back up site, the Banana push is coming slow. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, the rotating player from A now, that's the AWP, pushing himself round to CT long. He's actually going to go towards doorway, though, which is dangerous for him, especially with those smoke grenades now coming off. I don't think we have any Molotovs as well either, covering the gap in between. But this big old stack of EsportsWales players are going to go into the breach, and Stato and Ollie will fall immediately there.
The pre-fire came out, but he was unable to find a kill. As the AWP and AK found the kill, Sketch finding a nice double green garden. The flashbang will come out, able to even it on V2. He tags up one over in CT, but he doesn't see the one church. He's going to shoot him down, finds a 4th. And as the time runs out, the CTs take another round, and I've lost count of the rounds.
Yeah, not 100% certain of what happened there. I mean, obviously the time, we can't see anything at the moment. All we can see is just hands and a gun, and that's it. But time, unfortunately, did run out. We're now
7-4 at the moment. We are 7-4 in this game. AAB really bringing it back, taking 7 rounds unanswered so far, but not doing it, not losing them greatly. They're losing them just by the skin of their teeth. As we saw by the last round, it took about 3 players to try and kill Sketch there, but they were unable to. Steve has apparently died, I'm afraid, so it's just me. I'm going to have to try and take this by myself, but very good push from Sketch, but I think the rotate around, their slow push through Banana, I think that was the biggest issue because they took a bit too long. Yes, they were able to convince AAB that they could be going anywhere, so they had to split, have a 2v2 on each side, making it a bit more even for the Team Yard to actually try and take the site, but they took a bit too long doing it. Ollie finding the first frag as we have an overlay for now, but Caster's Curse is yet to be seen. Lindoff is waiting here by this wall. He's going to jump. He will see them. He'll see 5 members of Team Yard on the flat. Stato pushes in, gets the dig onto Lindoff. That's down to Grumpy Monk playing here by Barrels. Team Yard, but they take their time with this push as the utility is coming out. They don't want to waste it. And they will see Rastafarian, but he will not get a kill. The flashbangs come out as Grumpy finds one and falls to Pete. The plan is coming down from Ollie. Team Yard looking to make something of this, but Statter and YTP fall in quick succession. And this is yet again a 2v2. The plant has not come down yet. Rasta just missing a shot. You can't really be missing those when playing up against Team Yard. They do, as Steve has said, win these. The plant goes down. Ollie will fall to Rotten here, and it's 2v1. Pete finds one. He's going to contest that orb, but he will fall. The Molotov is going to leave it, but unable to find this kill and find the round win for Team Yard, taking it to 9-4 to Akademi. And Steve is back. Hello.
Hello, I'm back. Sorry about that. But I have no idea what happened. The person who remained nameless, who manages the internet connection for the majority of people in Wales, must have flicked the switch again for whatever reason, and then all my internet went off. However, yeah, I'm back. Apologies for that. 9-4 though, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not around behind.
Is correct.
Yes. I don't want to be around behind you, and all of a sudden I'm casting the wrong thing. I did catch what you were saying, of course, because I could still hear you for some reason, even though my internet wasn't working.
But we do see Pete coming down Banana. I'm going to stop you as he finds Lintop. A very nice entry frag. We will see Grumpy Monk pull back, and we will also see Sketch and Ollie here heading towards that A site, trying to find something, just in case they need to rotate around. The utility is coming out to try and stop this push through Banana here. Grumpy pushing through. He Stewie 2Ks and finds a double kill onto Pete and YTP, pulling back, knowing that he's not going to get much else out of that. And it's very much in this round in Akademi's favor, as we are in round 14 out of 999.
Strong reference to Stewie 2K there. I was like, that's my job to do the stuff like that. But no, I like that. That was definitely a very nice push from him. Popping through that smoke grenade, making the damage that needed to be made, and it worked out quite nicely for him. Bomb is still, however, pushing towards towards B. We do still have the anchor player, which does seem to be Sketch. Multiple rounds in a row, anchoring himself towards A to cover the rotation. From mid through to Banana. Smokes and flashes will go.
The pre-fire's coming out. Ooh, Ollie not looking the right way. Satchel will fall to an AWP. Lint will fall. Will take out. Team Yard fall.
Yeah, Team Yard fall, unfortunately, in that scenario. The pre-fires did come out quite early, but it's not enough, unfortunately. They don't connect. Yeah. Watching those pre-fires go in, they are checking more, but I think that's just because of the way that AAB have played in the earlier rounds. This team are very, very, very sneaky, in the sense of the positions they're holding are not likely positions that you would normally check. So it's pushing Team Yar into making decisions to check areas they wouldn't normally, and it's them making mistakes happen. Choosing to buy, though, with this little economy could be fatal, unfortunately, but it is last round anyway, so that money situation is null and void.
It does look like we're going to see an A push. We see Rasta molly out YTP without the knowledge in Boiler Room. YTP will hear that AWP scope in and will feed the info to his team. Looks like Apps is going to be the push here. As the Molotov comes out, Stato will fall, but not before finding Rotten. The Molotov cancelled with the smoke as Peath drops. Gets spotted by Lint, but finished off by Lint.
Yeah, that push from balcony is a horrible push to make as a T player trying to push onto site. It's so difficult.
Ollie looking for a very difficult play here. Unable to find Rasta. He was very close to getting that, but you know, it was close. I think that now that Akademi have been able to hit the ground running essentially as soon as they started getting money, that really helped them, I think.
Yeah, definitely did. They got the run of momentum. Obviously, we didn't see all the rounds, which it would have been nice to have done, but unfortunately technical things do happen, and it's unavoidable in these sort of situations. But you know, looking at it from a perspective of what we did see quite a lot of rounds where AAB weren't really fussed about the buy into it. They were happy just to push into the round, get the frags they needed to get, hold those those defenses where they possibly could, and those retakes are coming in very, very nicely as well. But this goes back to what we said before the map started. Even we mentioned that if you win knife round, you're gonna want to take CT. You're gonna want to have that that momentum to kind of push yourself into the next round, into the second half, I should say. But it does look as though we are on a break still. Yeah, we are on a break from the game itself, so the players aren't playing. Players aren't playing currently. They're doing bits and pieces. ESEA works on the basis that if you've played the first half, you have a couple of minutes break basically in between the first and second half. We just wait on players to ready up more or less.
I mean, I do get that because, if you're not having the best run, say Team Yacht at the moment, unfortunately, like you said, they take a while to kind of click their past performance. So as we're heading into this round, stop the momentum of Akademi, help them reset their mindset.
Yeah, exactly. They've had 2 and a bit minutes, 3 minutes to kind of compose themselves. They know they need to win these rounds early on. They need to get the pistol round, most definitely, to start the momentum off.
Yeah, I think taking this pistol round here would be very important. We are going to see a push coming down from second mid. As App seems to be where they're pushing. Bit of pre-fire coming out from Lint here. And YTP unable to find Lind over on Banana. Looks like he's going to fake this B push here, as the bomb definitely heads towards A. And yep, Team Yacht starting to rotate through Archers and CT now to B, giving Akademi the sight, and you hate to see it if you are supporting the EsportsWales team. We will, however, see one of the players drop that back down and have a look at A long. We see Stato going for it. He sees, a very nice one tap onto Rasta. Looking to make more of it as the rest of the team comes to support, but the time is being wasted. He jumps up, is unable to find Grumpy. Sketch will also fall alongside Ollie to Link, and it's all down to Peath, who gets trapped in library and falls. A very crucial rotation and arguably big brain play from Akademi there.
Yeah, the play on to B was perfectly timed, but I think it was a false positive. Peath was the man still on B site alone at that point. He's called the rest of the guys to rotate. I need help on this side. I've got players pushing me. When in reality, we could, obviously we can see it because we can see minimap, but we know that everything's going A that round. They've dominated on B. They've made the rotation come early.
We are seeing a mid rush. Although they're getting flashed, they are able to find kills, but the round cleans out quite quickly by Akademi. They were able to find a kill, but I think that was probably not a round that Team Ya wanted to stick around in. Probably get through to this buy round as we see the M4s and utility being bought.
Yeah, not the best starting 2 rounds for CT from EsportsWales, unfortunately, there. Losing that pistol round with a big sort of mistake with that early rotation. And then, obviously, that push straight down mid kind of fell lackluster into the Mac 10 spray.
Yeah, and we are going to see Akademi's answer to it as they rush Archers. And they're going to CT. I think they're faking an A rush by going... Oh, they're going through to the library now. They're going to push it into the waiting arms of Sketch. But is he ready for 5 players? He finds one. Will fall to Grumpy. An insane fragger so far as Rasta finds Stato. Control of A site is given to Akademi. With only losing 1 player, this could be a difficult retake for Team Yar.
Yeah, even made more difficult by the flashes and utility use from AAB. They are very good with the flash and smoke. And we saw that perfectly with YTP falling. Ollie does get a refrank though, but he falls immediately afterwards and it's left to Peath.
Yeah, it's left to Peath. I don't think he's going to want to play this out. He might want to try and save that M4 because this is a force buy round for Team Yar. It looks like he will be. I'm hoping to see them kind of step up a bit more, but it looks very much like Akademi's game at the moment. They're setting the pace, undisputably.
Yeah, they definitely are. And, I mentioned it earlier on, and I'm probably repeating myself here, but I'm going to say it again anyway. Once you take that CT side in the first half, you batter the amount of rounds that you possibly can out of a T side. You kind of get that momentum before you swing into the second half anyway, and it's very difficult for a team switching from T to CT to kind of build their own momentum up when they're on the back burner already. We're seeing 10, 11 rounds in the first half go into Akademi, and they're swinging through with it, and they're looking for 16.
Yeah, they very much are feeling quite confident, and they know that Yar have not got much in the way of utility, but YTP will find 2 with his pistol before falling to Rasta. Yes, Akademi have site control on B. Oh, Linth and Rotten each finding a kill. Cementing their hold up to this B site here. The bomb needs to be picked up and planted, but Sketch has eyes on, he can see. Stato will fall and so will Sketch, and it will take us, unfortunately, to match point for AAB Akademi. Grumpy Monk, I'm gonna say it, very good pickup, and unfortunately for Team Yar, very good decision on Akademi to try and keep getting him in rather than just play the 4v5.
Yeah, definitely. It's played off quite nicely for AAB. And, you look at it from the perspective of AAB. We mentioned this before the game started. A lot of these players are from AAB main rather than AAB Akademi. Oh, that opening frag.
A nice smoke there to get through to apartments. Going to get some early frags onto Akademi and try and slow them down. We see Peath trying to find Rotten. And he will. Uncontested and no refrag. The win taken out of Akademi's sails, as it seems Team Yar are looking to just stop them in their tracks and go full out. Grumpy Monk, low on HP, will hold the angle, waiting for Peath.
Yeah, and Grumpy Monk could actually take this frag quite nicely if Peath doesn't check that angle as soon as he comes around the corner. Peath realistically should be patient at this point, maybe not swing out, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's backing himself off. That's a good decision from him. I don't need to take that corner. I don't need to take the potential damage coming from it because I'm low HP as well, so what's the point in me doing it?
Yeah, Ollie's able to find an AWP here, so even with low HP, he can sit back and still be a very formidable threat. Team Yar, they've got 45 seconds on this clock. They can play this very well and clutch a round back from Akademi's jaws.
From a economy perspective as well, AAB have so much money that they don't realistically need to push this. They could save if they wanted to, but it looks like they are going to push. Yep. YTP up to take Lintoff down. Yeah.
Lintoff will fall, and it looks like Grumpy Monk will probably try and save. The frag grenade comes out and he backs up, but we do see Peath coming on the flank. Looking, waiting. He can hear Grumpy Monk, who pre-fires but just misses. Jumps over. Patience, like you said, is the virtue for Peath. As Grumpy Monk is pushing his way to A, looking to at least get the money. He's going to get this plant here, but Peath knows he's coming up at
the time.
A very good rush, able to get the time, but he is going to have to face the full might of Team Yar. Finds one on YTP and a very nice frag. Team Yar, they realistically need to pinch. Utility comes out.
God.
Oh no.
That is...
In a horrible fashion. AAB Academy take the round and the game in arguably an amazing clutch from Grumpy Monk. But if you're on Team Ya, that was a 1 round. You had him in Banana. Peeth maybe shouldn't have gone under pass because that really cost them a lot, because instead of contesting Peeth with 17 HP, he just rushed. He said, screw it, I know you're there, we're going.
That, I'll be honest with you, like you see that in so much high level game, being able to pull off a round win like that, a massive clutch. I mean, I'd be very happy with that if I ever managed to pull something like that off. He had 17 HP at the end, and he's managing to avoid 3 players back to back, get himself onto site, and get a planned out of it as well. That's a very good player. And again, AAB, like we said, is main, not Academy, realistically.
Yeah. You said this seems to be one of their newer players, and he's done very well, because not only was he able to get away from that B side, 17 HP, run all the way onto A and get the plant, securing money at least for the next round. He was able to find the 3K with possibly a missed goal from Team Ya. They thought he was in pit, they Molotov pit, but they just got swung on and were unable to find the kill, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That will be...
It's disappointing, but the good thing about this is, and I mentioned this last season as well, is you live and learn from your mistakes like that. At the end of the day, these guys can go back, they can watch the replay, they can watch the stream, what amount of stream there is for them to watch back the gameplay of it, but they can at least go back, they can have a look at it, right, what mistakes did we make? That rotation is going to be one they're going to be looking at quite a lot, I would imagine. Opening round on second half. It's very unfortunate timing, but it's also a bad call. There's no other way really of looking at it other than it's a bad call. It happens though. A lot of teams make mistakes like that. You live and learn from it, and hopefully we'll see them come back. I believe, and if I'm not mistaken, and probably I'm going to get shouted at by production for giving the wrong date, but I think their next game is Monday, if I'm not mistaken.
We will get that confirmed, but one has to kind of think, if Peeth didn't push down long, if he just kind of waited on site, he would have been able to stop that.
Yeah.
So maybe Team Ya looking forward might want to look about their patience in these plays, because they were able to stop an A push. They were able to very aggressively stop that A push, then the B push. If you just held back, waited, it would have been a very different result. Unfortunately, though, that is the first defeat in this ESEA Open for Team Ya. After taking their first game in very strong fashion, they are going to be playing on Monday, and we will be covering it, so please check it out. And most importantly, if you want to get involved, check out Twitch chat. We have the links to the Discord, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and everything you could possibly want for EsportsWales. If you want to play CSGO, Rocket League, any game, essentially, that has a competitive scene, that's where you'll check it out. And if you want to try one, you will meet people who are willing to help, most importantly, and willing to enjoy the game with you. I am McCready. I've been joined by Reaper Steve 1 on Twitter, and that is Team Ya versus AAB Academy.
Yep, thank you very much for having us again. Thank you very much to Jakey and John from EsportsWales for keeping me in the loop and getting me involved. Well done to the production guys as well. I know we had a lot of issues tonight, but they still managed to keep us informed as we were going along. Delta Bacon and Jay managing to keep everything running smoothly in the background, so to speak there. Otherwise, though, that is it from us. We will catch you on Monday for the next game, and I believe it's again Grand Pa Peak is the team name that we're going to begin. So we'll be doing a bit of research on them in the meantime.
Very much so. Enjoy your night, guys, and we will see you on Monday.
Peace.